The movie starts with John Worthy being recorded giving his testimony before he gets executed by the Federation of Planets. Many years ago, John would spend time with his father, even when he was speaking out against the Federation for spending the budget on war instead of helping the people. He kept talking until a soldier shot him. This changed everything in John's life. 18 years later, the Federation has grown even stronger. John is talking with his mother about wanting to take a test to allow him to become a lieutenant in a Federation forces, a ship called Starship One. At his testing, John is suspected of being related to someone who was against the Federation, but he denies it. During the briefing, they are told to survive for over 3 minutes, but even if they manage to survive after a crash, they will not be allowed to fly again. Terra Nostra is one of the planets of the Federation, but it is becoming hard to govern because it is full of rebels against the Federation, a planet ruled by a pope. The people are loyal to their pole and are given information about the war as they worship at the temple. A woman is praying in the temple when she gets kidnapped. Her taker is forcing himself on her when she gets rescued by her sisters, who kill her captive. Earth is filled with radiation after a big war and has become inhabitable. The ship arrives at a rapid speed to Earth. Everyone inside is shocked when Terra Nostra ships arrive after them and get into battle stations. They put up their shields and get ready for a fight. They target the enemy ships and fire their cannons at their engines. They manage to hit their large ship, but there are still more ships attacking them, but the return fire takes down their shields. They tried to evade them, but they couldn't avoid the shots. They take their biggest shot and turn around to escape after hitting all 3 of the enemy ships. Even after getting caught in the debris, they survive. On Terra Nostra, the soldiers brought a traitor to their leader. She killed 16 people after an ambush and didn't want to give up her comrades. This doesn't sit well with the leader, and he pulls out the sword and cuts off her head. After the battle on the ship, John is taken back to the deck because he is the only fighter pilot that they have, but if that wasn't the case, then he would be in jail. They are on their way to visit old Earth, so a smaller plane takes off out of the larger ship to survey the area, but as it gets closer to the plant, it starts having problems due to the weird radiation. Another ship takes off out of the Federation base as someone looks on while it takes flight. The personnel on the ship raise their shields. Their journey then takes them to old Earth, where they confront the rebels who are defiant and unwilling to collaborate with the Federation. They don't want to give up their warbots to the Federation's cause, but they have no choice since they are the only protection old Earth has against Terra Nostra. Captain Savage hears their argument and calls them back into Starship One because she wants to confirm with General Gustav before taking any action. The general is arguing with Zarina because he wanted to attack Terra Nostra, but she is giving the command to go focus on old Earth instead. Her son tries to interject on behalf of the general, but she stops him and makes the general follow her orders. The two are still arguing with Zarsis, and they finally get the message to go back to the ship. The chilling command issued by the Federation's enigmatic figure, known as the Overseer, sends shockwaves through the ranks as they are ordered to obliterate the very cradle of humanity, old Earth, before Captain Savage, torn between duty and conscience, can enact this catastrophic directive. John, fueled by a surge of determination, orchestrates a daring mutiny that culminates in the demise of the Overseer. The act, though born of necessity, carries a heavy toll, leaving a somber air of consequence in its wake. However, the echo of rebellion reverberates across the void as the rebels swiftly retaliate against this bold defiance. Dispatching 2 formidable gunships, they launch a relentless assault on the Federation vessel. The once orderly confines of the ship erupt into chaos as alarms blare and crew members scramble to contain the escalating crisis. Rimmer, a crew member who remains faithful to the Federation, manages to escape. Following a damaging attack, the rest of the crew, including John, are forced to make an emergency landing on old Earth. Upon their arrival, they are greeted by rebel warriors, Xarsis and her daughter Jolly. Initially, John is hesitant to align himself with the rebels. However, through persuasive discussions, Jolly and Xarsis manage to convince him to join their cause. The Federation, alarmed by the escalating rebellion, has taken decisive action by mobilizing a formidable armada, signaling their resolve to suppress the uprising. Faced with this ominous development, Xarsis, grappling with the looming threat, implores John to take swift action to safeguard not only their own lives, but also that of her cherished daughter, Jolly. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, John resolves to evacuate Earth, embarking on a perilous mission aimed at ensuring the safety of Jolly amidst the chaos of interstellar conflict. Amidst the turmoil, John endeavors to mediate between the Federation and the rebels, hoping to find a diplomatic solution to the crisis. In a sudden turn of events, the peaceful dialogue is shattered by the thunderous roar of Federation ships force, launching an aggressive assault on the rebel strongholds. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Jon and his companions manage to evade capture, navigating through the chaos of the battle-ravaged skies. They ultimately find sanctuary within the hidden confines of the rebels' clandestine base. In an unexpected turn of events, Staris, a fellow crew member, makes a treacherous attempt to betray Jon and the rebels to the Federation. However, her deceitful plan is swiftly thwarted by the rebels' android companion, who apprehends her and confines her within a prison vessel. Subsequently, this vessel is propelled into the vastness of space, leaving Staris isolated and powerless. Meanwhile, two other rebels, Diana and Tarina, embark on a daring mission to pilfer a ship from the Federation. Their goal is to rendezvous with their comrades on Terra Nostra. With their successful acquisition, they join forces with the rest of the rebel group. Together, they launch a resolute invasion on the Federation city situated on the planet, effectively seizing absolute control. After having his ship repaired at the covert base, Jon makes his way back to Earth. Jon and his loyal companion, Jolly, make a firm decision to retaliate against the Federation for the immense destruction they have caused. In the midst of their planning, an unexpected communication is received. General Gustav, acting under the Supreme Commander's orders, reaches out to them. To their horror, they discover that Jon's mother and sister have been taken hostage by the Federation. In a cruel and heart-wrenching act, the general ruthlessly murders Jon's mother over the radio, leaving Jon and Jolly devastated. In a desperate attempt to save his sister, Jon is commanded by the general to surrender himself to the Federation's custody. Faced with an agonizing choice, Jon must decide how to navigate this treacherous situation while preserving the life of his remaining family member. Jon arranges a meeting with the Federation general on Cygnus Alpha, hoping for a chance to negotiate or find a resolution. However, to his dismay, it turns out to be an orchestrated trap. The Federation forces open fire on Jon and his companions, resulting in the tragic loss of Jon's sister. Filled with grief and anger, Jon and his crew manage to escape from the treacherous planet. Determined to avenge his sister's death and bring justice to the Federation, Jon and his crew engage in a fierce battle with the Federation fleet. In a desperate move, they deploy a Calamity missile, strategically targeting a nearby planet. The devastating explosion obliterates the entire Federation fleet, leaving only the general's ship intact. Though the battle ends in triumph for Jon and his comrades, the celebration is short-lived as they survey the wreckage of their ship, ravaged by the intense blasts of combat. Despite the grim reality of their damaged weaponry, Jon remains resolute, his mind already formulating a daring strategy in the face of adversity. Jon realizes that victory hinges upon eliminating this formidable adversary and dismantling the command structure that sustains their tyranny. He resolves to sacrifice his own vessel to cripple the heart of the Federation's power. Steering his ship on a collision course towards the general's flagship, he embraces the certainty of his own peril. In this bold act of selflessness, the collision inflicts substantial damage upon both ships, leaving them in a state of chaos. In the midst of the turmoil, Jolly and Torgus manage to flee aboard a nimble fighter jet, leaving Jon behind. Determined to find a means of escape, Jon takes the risky decision to board the general's ship, hoping to locate another available escape pod. The seasoned leader's foremost concern is the safety of the Supreme Commander. With steely resolve, he orchestrates the swift evacuation of the highest-ranking officer, ensuring their secure departure from the imminent peril that threatens to engulf them. Jon succeeds in gaining access to the general's escape pod. Following a heated confrontation, the general makes a surprising choice and releases Jon from captivity, opting instead to align himself with Jon and his crew. United by a common goal, they join forces to bring about the downfall of the overseer of the Federation and put an end to the devastating war that has plagued them. With a newfound sense of purpose, Jon's primary objective shifts towards eliminating the overseer, the central figure responsible for perpetuating the conflict. His determination to succeed in this mission stems from the desire to bring peace and justice to their war-torn world. As the movie ends, the Supreme Commander, who holds a position of authority within the Federation, unveils a shocking revelation to her son, Cephas. She divulges the truth that the overseer is, in fact, Cephas's biological father. Furthermore, she discloses that Cephas is the rightful heir to the overseer's position of power. Cephas now has a profound personal dilemma as he grapples with his newfound heritage and the responsibility that comes with leading the Federation. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.